Barca fandom is bigger than football. From Kobe Bryant to Shakira to ROSALÍA, these are famous people who publicly showed real love for Barcelona. Kobe Bryant is probably the loudest non-football celebrity name in this whole video. When Barca itself describes you as an admirer of FC Barcelona, that already tells you this was more than a random photo op. And Kobe never hid that connection. ESPN highlighted that he supported both Barcelona and Milan, which makes sense for a guy whose football taste came from a life lived across different sporting worlds. With Kobe, Barca felt like part of his identity, not just a club he casually liked. What made Kobe's support stand out was the way it matched his mentality. He respected obsession, elite standards, winning culture, and Barca at their best represented all of that. So his link to the club always felt serious, not performative. A lot of stars wear a shirt once and move on. Kobe sounded like someone who really admired the football idea behind the badge. That is why his Barca connection still feels massive even now. Shakira is one of the most publicly linked celebrity names to Barca, and with her, it never felt like a one-day cameo. FC Barcelona covered her work with the Barca Foundation and the Barefoot Foundation, which already put her close to the club beyond gossip and headlines. Then Matchday literally showed her watching Barca on the day of the Liverpool game. So this is not some vague celebrity connection. Barca was part of her public life in a very visible, very emotional way. And that is why her support feels different from most celebrity football links. It felt close to the club, close to the atmosphere, close to the tension of big nights. You could actually picture her living those wins and losses instead of just dropping in for the cameras. With all due respect to other famous names here, Shakira's Barca connection was one of the most public and one of the easiest for fans to recognize instantly. She belongs in any conversation like this. Arnold Schwarzenegger is not the classic lifelong terrace fan story, but his sympathy for Barca is definitely public. On Barca's own website, after visiting Camp Nou in the museum, he praised the club's amazing history and said the football they play is incredible. That matters, because it sounds like admiration for the full package, not just for one superstar player. Arnold was impressed by the scale, the trophies, the identity, and the style. That is a proper Barca kind of appreciation. The fun part with Arnold is that even his praise fits the club's aura. When a global icon known for dominance and larger-than-life presence walks through the museum and talks like that, it gives the support extra weight. He may not be the most vocal name here, but he is one of the clearest examples of a huge celebrity publicly buying into the Barca image. Not everyone needs a scarf from childhood. Sometimes strong public respect says enough. Justin Bieber is one of those names you cannot ignore because the connection was so visible. Barca's own site highlighted his 2016 visit to first-team training and made clear it was not his first time because he had also been there in 2011. And he did not just stand on the side smiling for pictures. He watched, met the players, and even joined in. That makes the whole thing feel a lot more real than the standard celebrity stadium tour. That repeat connection is the key here. One visit can be PR. 2 visits years apart, plus actually getting involved with the squad, feels much more like genuine enthusiasm. Bieber's Barca link was young, loud, and very public, exactly the kind of celebrity support fans remember because it looked fun and spontaneous. Compared with some quieter names on this list, his support had more visibility and more pop culture punch. He absolutely fits this video. José Andrés is one of the clearest names here because Barca itself grouped him among its famous fans. That alone already gives the connection proper weight. And when the club landed in Los Angeles in 2023, one of its big institutional events was a welcome dinner held at his restaurant. So with José Andrés, the relationship does not feel accidental. It feels warm, familiar, and very natural, like Barca walking into a place where it already had one of its own. What makes his case strong is that it feels bigger than one quote or one image. José Andrés has the kind of public personality that makes football support feel human, generous, and proud, and Barca suits that perfectly. He is not loud in the same celebrity way as Bieber or Shakira, but his support feels sincere and rooted. Another famous person may be more flashy, but José Andrés gives this list something more grounded. A proper culé energy. Pau Gasol is a special case because he is way beyond random celebrity support. Barca made him a strategic advisor and ambassador in the United States, and he openly said that Barca is like a family. That is a huge line because it does not sound corporate at all. It sounds personal. Pau is one of those names who gives the club global reach but also genuine emotional connection. With him, the support feels lived in, almost inherited, like something that belongs to him. And that is why Pau carries more weight than most people in this video. He is not just famous and friendly with Barca. He is part of the wider Barca universe and helps represent it abroad. A lot of celebrity fans can bring attention. Pau brings legitimacy as well. Compared with almost everyone else here, his bond with the club feels deeper, more useful, and more lasting. He is not orbiting around Barca. He feels built into the structure of it. Jorge Lorenzo belongs here because the Barca connection was public from more than one angle. Barca included him among its famous supporters, and Crash reported that he was a lifelong supporter who even unveiled a special Barcelona livery after the club's Champions League win. That is not a casual nod. That is a world champion carrying club pride into another sport. When your support reaches the point of special tribute visuals, it feels properly deep. That is what makes Lorenzo stand out from other celebrity fans. His Barca link had identity in it, not just proximity. He is Catalan sport royalty in his own lane, and the club colors clearly meant something to him. Compared with some of the names below, his support feels more old school and more personally attached to the badge. He was not just around Barca. He represented Barca vibes in the way he showed that support publicly. That gives him real weight here. Miki Puig might not be the most global name on this list, but that does not make the support any less real. Barca's own site named him among its famous fans, and that gives him a very authentic place in this conversation. He feels like a local, cultural version of Barca support, the kind that grows naturally out of Catalan life rather than out of celebrity tourism. That matters, because not every strong fan story has to be built around worldwide fame. What I like about Miki Puig in this video is the texture he adds. He represents that more intimate side of being culé, where music, city identity, and club loyalty can all sit in the same space. He is not here because of one flashy headline. He is here because the club itself recognizes him as part of that famous fan circle. And honestly, that kind of support often feels warmer than the louder celebrity cases. It feels like Barca at street level. Judit Mascó is another name that Barca itself placed inside that recognized famous fan category, and that is exactly why she works in this script. She may not have the global football visibility of Shakira or Kobe, but she absolutely has public cultural weight, especially in Spain and Catalonia. That makes her support feel elegant but still very real. She is one of those names who reminds you that Barca support is not just celebrity spectacle. It is also social, cultural, and generational. Her case is strong because it feels naturally connected to the club's identity. Not every famous Barca fan needs a giant viral moment. Some belong here because they are publicly recognized by the club and fit the wider image of what Barca means in Catalan life. Judit Mascó gives this list that kind of balance. She is not the loudest supporter in the room, but she absolutely looks like someone who belongs in the wider Barca family. Now, ROSALÍA is a slightly different case, and it is worth being honest about that. I would not sell this as the most classic old-school fan story in the video. But the public Barca connection is huge. She recorded her own version of the club anthem for El Clásico, and FC Barcelona and Spotify later received major recognition for the Moda Mami campaign because of its fan engagement and community impact. So even with that small caveat, the link is massive. And in pure modern culture terms, ROSALÍA might be one of the biggest names Barca has ever connected with like this. The club put her sound, her image, and her creative identity right into one of football's biggest fixtures. That goes way beyond a casual celebrity nod. Compared with more traditional supporters, her story is more about public fusion than terrace history. But it was loud, memorable, and unmistakably Barca. In a modern football video, that absolutely earns her a place near the end. That is what makes Barca different. It is not just a football club that people know. It is a club that famous people genuinely attach themselves to. So which name felt like the biggest Barca supporter here, and who did we miss? Drop it in the comments. and like and subscribe for more football videos.